Now decided to give the probe on the attack on the ED team on January 5th to the CBI. Now remember, Sheikh Shahjahan of Sandesh Khali was the man behind this attack, is what the ED had alleged. In that particular case, now the CBI is going to be investigating, is what we're given to understand. This latest coming to the fore from the Calcutta High Court. It was argued that the state police from its inception had tried to thwart this investigation by registering false FIRs against the ED personnel who were attacked in this particular case. Remember, on the 5th of January, when the Enforcement Directorate team was in Sandesh Khali to question Sheikh Shahjahan in the ration scam, that's when they came under attack. Their vehicle was under attack as well. Now we're given to understand that the CBI is going to be probing this particular case. Sheikh Shahjahan will be handed over to the CBI for questioning as well. Ananya, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Ananya, what can you tell us? What else transpired in court?
Well, definitely, this was the judgment that had to be handed over by the Calcutta High Court today, and a very, very big verdict has now come in from the Calcutta High Court, wherein very clearly and categorically, the Calcutta High Court has transferred the investigation on the attack of ED officials to, the Central Bureau of Investigation. Not only that, what has also been said by, in fact, the Calcutta High Court is that Sheikh Shahjahan should be handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation. A big win for the central government, who had been asking for the central agencies to actually probe this particular matter. And very clearly and categorically now, in fact, the CBI would be probing this particular case. So a big development has now come in. The court has said that, the SIT that has been set up by the Bengal government shall also be set aside, is what the orders of the court are. And very clearly and categorically, all of the investigation in this particular regard, with regards to the attack on ED officials, would now be probed by the central agency, and the Central Bureau of Investigation would be looking into it. But what would be crucial, Poonam, is the reasoning that the court would have given in its detailed order. That would be coming out very, very soon. But in the pronouncement, the court said that the application of the Enforcement Directorate has been allowed. The investigation in this particular case has been handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation, and Sheikh Shahjahan too shall be handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation. So a big win for the central government coming in for the central probe agencies. Also, the Enforcement Directorate constantly pushed that, if it was the Bengal police would be investigating this particular case, very clearly and categorically, there would be a leakage of information to Sheikh Shahjahan, and there would be attempts to shield him as well. Accepting all of those submissions, the court has now today ordered for a CBI probe in this particular matter. How will the case proceed now is something that we'll have to wait and watch for. Whether there would be a clash between the Bengal police officials and, in fact, the Central Bureau of Investigation is something that we have to see. Because remember, in the history of Bengal, we've seen the Sarda chit fund scam, we've seen the Rose Valley scam,
we have seen the Rose Valley scam, where we have seen clashes between the Bengal government and the central agencies. So are we going to witness once again a similar situation or not, is something that we'll have to wait and watch for. But definitely the Calcutta High Court has now paved the way for the Central Bureau of Investigation to probe this particular case.
Absolutely. Stay on with us, because the deadline has also now been set for the state police to hand over Sheikh Shahjahan. He has to be handed over along with the papers of this particular case, transferred to the CBI by 4:30 p.m. today. That's what the High Court has. That's what the Calcutta High Court has now gone on to say. Kamalika, my colleague, also joining us, getting us more details. Kamalika, the state government had opposed this transfer. They had said that there were allegations that the police were inept, that they were trying to collude with Sheikh Shahjahan in this case. It looks like some of those arguments would have found merit in court, which is why the court has now decided to hand over the probe to the CBI.
Well, that's obviously a very big argument that was put forward by definitely by the ED and the central agencies, and they had this apprehension that if he is caught by the West Bengal police, then he will get a bail quite easily. Now, that is where the point is, and where the court has clearly stated that this entire case is going to go to CBI. So by today evening at around 4:30, Shahjahan needs to be handed to CBI. Now that is a very big decision by the Calcutta High Court, and that's what the ED and CBI, they were trying it for so long to go on that, to work on that, and that is why when it is transferred by 4:30 today, Shahjahan will have to be handed over to CBI custody. Now there, where it's a big blow definitely for the state agencies also, where there is an apprehension by the ED that if it is with the West Bengal police, then there can be a chance that the entire case will be diluted. So definitely going the entire Sandesh Khali case to CBI is a definitely very big development.
Absolutely, it'll be interesting to see, Kamalika, how the TMC responds to this, isn't it? Because this is the allegation that the BJP has also been making, that the police, the state administration was the one that shielded Shahjahan for 55 days until he was actually arrested. We'll try and reconnect that line with Kamalika, my colleague, getting us more details of what's transpiring on ground there. But this is what happened in the Calcutta High Court. Ananya, my colleague, also continues to be with us. 4:30 p.m. is the deadline for all case papers for Sheikh Shahjahan to be transferred to CBI custody. That's in a few hours from now, 90 minutes to be specific. Ananya getting us more details. Now, Ananya, the SIT that was formed by the state government to probe this particular case, the ED had said that they have absolutely no faith in this particular SIT and that they were colluding with the accused in this particular case.
Well, definitely, this was the submission that was given out by the central councils, that is Additional Solicitor General Mr. S.V. Raju, very clearly pointing out that, the SIT that has been formed by, in fact, the Bengal government is something which is a part of, in fact, the Bengal police itself. And there are already attempts and, in fact, allegations that Sheikh Shahjahan was somebody who was shielded by the Bengal police. And that's exactly why the central agencies actually wanted this investigation to actually go to the Central Bureau of Investigation, because the Enforcement Directorate itself cannot investigate cases of attempt to murder or grievous assaults, and that's the reason why CBI was the choice of the Enforcement Directorate as well to actually probe these particular cases. So the Central Bureau of Investigation will now be taking over the particular case at around 4:30. The papers would be handed over to them, and a big important thing, whenever such an investigation is transferred, usually Poonam, is that the SITs that are already formed work in coordination, in fact, with these central agencies. But in this case, the Calcutta High Court has completely set aside that special investigation team and has asked the CBI to take the case afresh. The CBI would be taking those case papers from, in fact, the Bengal police, and then would be proceeding on with the investigation. And not only the
sorry
case
to interrupt
papers,
you there,
Ananya.
Ananya. Do stay on with us. BJP's Dilip Ghosh now joining us on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Your first response to this case being transferred out of the state to the CBI?
देखिए, ये तो होना चाहिए था। इसके पहले भी दर्जनों केस इस प्रकार जो राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षाओं पर एक संबंधित मामला है। दूसरा, बंगाल में सबसे बड़ा इश्यू अभी जो भ्रष्टाचार चल रहा है अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट में, ये इसका साथ जुड़ा हुआ, हिंसा के साथ जुड़ा हुआ, और सबसे बड़ी बात एक सीमावर्ती प्रदेश है, एक आइलैंड है संदेश खाली, बहुत सेंसिटिव इलाका है और सालों से इस प्रकार बहुत सारा घटना हो रहा है। इसमें इंटरनेशनल मैटर भी जुड़ा हुआ है। रोहिंग्याओं को बांग्लादेश से ला करके रखना हुआ और पूरा देश में फैलाना, ये भी शाहजहां के नाम पर कॉम्प्लेन है। कई लोगों के मर्डर का, बलात्कार का, हमारे 3 कार्यकर्ताओं को मर्डर किया है, मेन एक्यूज्ड है, लेकिन उसके ऊपर एफआईआर नहीं हुआ है। तो एक घटना, मुझे लगता है कि इंक्वायरी जब आगे बढ़ेगा बहुत सारा विषय और भी वहां आएगा। इसलिए ये बहुत जरूरी था, क्योंकि जो पुलिस के हाथ में केस दिया गया था उसको दबाने का प्रयास किया, 2 महीना तो उसको छुपाने का प्रयास किया शाहजहां तक, और मीडिया और अपने पार्टी का प्रचार और आंदोलन के प्रेशर से उनको और अरेस्ट करना पड़ा। और ऑलरेडी उन्होंने ईडी ऑफिसर के ऊपर जो अटैक हुआ था उसका पीछे उसका हाथ है, ये माना भी है। इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत जरूरी विषय है और जितना इंक्वायरी आगे बढ़ेगा और बहुत सारा उसमें इंफॉर्मेशन आएगा।
जी, दिलीप घोष, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए. Shukanta Majumdar of the BJP also joining us here on this broadcast. The BJP, of course, welcoming this verdict that has come to the fore from the Calcutta High Court. There is no faith in the police of the